Hey guys, what's up? Finch here. Today we're having another video on Crown Tundra speculation. I know it's been a lot of hype. We got a lot of support for that in the channel. So if you guys want even more videos on Crown Tundra, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel. The more support I see, the more likely I am to make videos. I already have a ton of new ideas thanks to you guys for all the feedback, and we're going to get right into it. This is going to be a video discussing some potential Pokemon that could drop down from the Ubers tier to OU upon the release of Crown Tundra. A lot of Pokemon gained viability, a lot of Pokemon lost viability. So much has happened, and all of this is just speculation. Once it comes out in a couple of weeks, we're going to be even more shocked as to everything that's going to be happening. Because of that, I'm super stoked about what's to come. But here are just 5 Pokemon that I think have a chance of dropping from Ubers to OU. Some of these Pokemon were Ubers in prior generations aren't released yet, and 2 of these Pokemon are currently Ubers from this generation but could maybe drop down. We're going to be discussing these 5 Pokemon, and in order, it's to me the Pokemon that at first I think are probably the most broken, going down to Pokemon that might be less and less broken over time. So the first Pokemon I'm talking about, and it's going to be number 5 on this list, is going to be Pheromosa. And that means that I believe Pheromosa is the most likely to be broken of these 5. However, there is still a case for it to be OU. Without Z-moves, it's incapable of breaking through fairy types like Clefable, and in addition to that, other fairy types, even on the physical and special end, no matter what it runs, it's going to struggle to break through due to the stabs of Fighting and Bug, coupled with the fact that its main coverage move is Ice move, which doesn't hit fairy types super effectively either. Last generation, it was able to get past fairy types and other troublesome Pokemon with things like Z Hyper Beam, or Z-Cess in general, Z bolstering Focus Blast's damage, for example. And because of that, it made Quiver Dance, Pheromosa, and just pivot variants in general far too problematic for the SMOU metagame to cover. However, with it now being the SSOU metagame with things like Toxapex and Clefable being at an all-time high, not to mention we're going to get new cool Pokemon like, I don't know, let's say Tapu Koko and Tapu Fini to keep it in check without Z Hyper Beam, that could go a long way. Now, of course, there are some amazing positives of Pheromosa. What are they? Well, first and foremost, it's devastatingly strong, and it has access to both physical and special sets with moves like High Jump Kick, U-Turn, Bug Buzz, Focus Blast, Ice Beam, etc. Quiver Dance is a booster, sure. Rapid Spin and Remove Hazards, yeah, you betcha. I bet it'll be pretty damn good with heavy duty boosts as a pivot, in fact, to keep that health up so it could live some weak priority moves. However, downsides is very frail. It's going to be dying to most boosted attacks, any super effective attack, and even some decent neutral attacks as well. Not to mention that if it does not have heavy duty boots, then it's going to be taking hazard damage non-stop, which puts it in range for just about anything. Finally, if you top that all off, while it is very fast and very strong, it still, again, it lacks the coverage. It can't really hit the fairy types too well, and because of that, you might see it limited. Personally, I think it's still going to be too much. Pheromosa was ridiculously broken last generation with Z-moves, and I don't know if that's enough. The lack of Z-moves is enough to necessarily make it something that will fit on the profile of an OU Pokemon, but it might be something to discuss and maybe see what happens with this generation. Next up, we have Zygarde, an old OU favorite turned one of the most broken Pokemon in Generation 7. I know this is not the actual Zygarde form, but unfortunately the amount of gifts I had access to is limited. And also, I don't know about you guys, but personally, I find the Zydog aesthetic to be absolutely brilliant. I love the design of the Zydog, and Zydog has honestly been pretty balanced. It's more of an RU Pokemon last generation, which is the stronger, or the frailer, faster variant. But what we're talking about is the normal Zygarde. I believe it's Zygarde 50%, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Either way, the one with respectable base speed and the 100 base attack, but very high base HP and amazing defenses as well. No, not the broken one, if you will, the one that we banned last generation through banning the ability to shift into that, the big boss of Ubers, if you will. But no, Zygarde 50%. And we're talking about that because last generation, with the combination of 1,000 arrows, boosting moves like Dragon Dance and Coil, and the fact that it has access to status moves like Toxic to cripple things like Tangrowth, or Stun Spore to cripple things like Clefable, made it so that the variety of setup sets made it too much. It could even abuse Z moves. However, this generation, not only are we seeing things like Tapu Bulu return, Tangrowth being in the tier, but also we're seeing an abundance of Rillaboom now. We're seeing things that can potentially keep it in check. I mean, Hippowdon, Clefable, Slowbro. You can go down the list. There are more. And also, all of these new fairy types and the Tapus are being released in the tier as well. And finally, there are no Z moves. However, it still has access to status, and of course, the signature move 1,000 arrows and the same setup moves. And because of that, I'm more inclined to believe that it'll probably still be ban worthy in the tier. But if I could see a possible world where it would be balanced, absolutely, and that's what I'm including on this list. I don't think it's the most ridiculously broken Pokemon ever. Probably broken? Yeah, I'd say so, but definitely, well, we'll have to wait and see. I personally think we should give it a shot, but maybe others feel differently. We'll definitely have to wait some time and see how that goes. Next up, we have Cinderace. Cinderace is something that's had a controversial history in SSOU already, going from a pretty mediocre option but very viable one, And then Libero got released and it was just really broken. Not only did we ban it from a quick ban, but after that we retested it and it still got banned with the vast majority of people voting to ban it. And why is that? It kicks everything around. As you can see with this poor Togepi, it is super strong and has access to a plethora of coverage moves. Pyro Ball, of course, being the main true stab, but also gets stab on Gunk Shot, Zen Headbutt, High Jump Kick, U-Turn, and even Sucker Punch. Pair that all with potential heavy-duty boots, even bulk up if you will, and it became too strong for the OU metagame. Of course, we are going to be getting a set of new walls and new attackers that can not only outrun it and revenge kill it, but also potentially keep it in check. That means that there's going to be a totally new landscape surrounding Cinderace. Do I think it'll still be broken? More likely than not, but do I think it's worth looking into at some point? Absolutely, because there was a metagame with Cinderace and OU which was sort of kind of balanced. I don't know how to put it, but obviously, Libero Cinderace is always going to be controversial, and it has a lot of things going for it, but do I believe there is a world where it could live in OU and be balanced if we have the right countermeasures? Absolutely. We saw Protein Greninja last generation, and obviously they're very different Pokemon, but I'm a firm believer that it should get a chance at some point in the future as well with a retest. Finally, another Pokemon that was introduced this generation, and it has been something that we've banned this generation, is Melmetal. Personally, I actually believe Melmetal should have been allowed in the old metagame. I voted do not ban it when it got retested, and honestly, it is very strong. Double Iron Bash, it's like a truck. The Choice Band said it's great, but there's so many Pokemon that can run a Rocky Helmet. There's so many Pokemon that could kind of deter its usage, especially because the fact that matters, Double Iron Bash only has 8 PP. There's also the fact that it has Mammoth Defense and HP stat, making it great with Acid Armor, Iron Defense plus Body Press. However, those sets are very easy to check, and without the boosted attack bonus from Choice Band, it's not able to break through the same deal of walls. All in all, special bulk that is okay but not superb, coupled with the fact that it's very low speed and very vulnerable to a whole slew of attacks, both on the special end and on the super effective physical end, made it so that I felt Melmetal would have been a very good Pokemon in the past metagame, but not even broken. Now, well, it seems that the people felt differently. They voted to ban it, and while it wasn't by an overwhelming margin, it was by a decent margin. Personally, I think a lot of that ban was due to people being closed-minded and not realizing it actually could have been a healthy presence in the metagame, pushing back Clefable while also being kept in check by common Pokemon running a pretty common item in Rocky Helmet, not to mention that. But I think it definitely deserves a chance to post DLC metagame where even more things to potentially check and counter it can be implied. In addition to that, it can go a long way towards keeping what could be very problematic Tapus in check due to resisting the Fairy typing, and also the Grass typing from Tapu Bulu, and the Psyche typing from Tapu Lele, which of course is going to be one of the most ridiculous Pokemon. But we're going to get to a video of some past generation OU Pokemon which might be broken in the future, and if you want that video, let's get this video in particular to 150 likes, and if we get there, then I'm going to make that video as quick as I see that. Anyway, while Melmetal is something that I believe deserves a chance in OU, there is one Pokemon close to my heart that I believe deserves even more of a chance in OU, something that's been held back by you for the past couple generations. Do you guys have any guesses about it? I'll give you a hint. It's a starter Pokemon. I hope that was enough of a hint, because I'm not going to have any more hints. I'm done with this. No more suspense. It's Blaziken. I believe the Speed Boost Blaziken without Z moves would be fine in OU. We're going to be seeing Latios, Latias, Slowbro, Dragapult, Toxapex, Hippowdon, Zygarde, Garchomp. It doesn't even have hidden power for those Pokemon. Landorus T. I mean, yeah, it has a lot of things. It could run physical, it could run mix with Fire Blast, it could run Swords Dance, it could even run U-Turn and Brave Bird. Now, I get it. It has a ton of things going for it. It's very threatening, but it's still just a Blaziken, which was a little UU Pokemon prior to this, and honestly, I don't believe it's too strong. I even with the speed boost, yeah, maybe not revenge killing it isn't as easy due to the lack of, strong priority against fire plus fighting types, but still, I think there's enough defensive counterplay to where it should be balanced. And this is something I felt ever since the generation came out. Whenever Blaziken, I was a firm believer of that. And now I do understand a lot of people feel differently. People feel like not being able to revenge kill it makes it really hard, but I mean, there's still Aqua Jettos like Crawdon, and there's other things as well. Priority is only getting stronger and stronger over time, and all in all, I don't think the +2 Blaziken really invalidates a ton of the tier, and I think that it can be kept in check, and I'm really curious to see what you guys have to think of this. This is personally the one is most controversial, but also most passionate about, and that's why I want to save the best for last. But yeah, I think we should absolutely retest Blaziken in OU. Now that there's no Mega, no Z moves, and on top of that, there's a whole slew of defensive Pokemon that potentially keep it in check that are out. I think now is a better time than ever to give that a chance. But yeah, definitely let me know your thought on that, guys. And thank you so much for tuning in. I know this was a bit more of a brief video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. These are the 5 Pokemon that are either Ubers this generation or were Ubers last generation, but are now being released as current Tundra that I personally believe should be reintroduced to the OU metagame in some capacity. I want to say especially the case for the non-Pheromosa ones. Pheromosa might be a bit too much, but I can see it without Z moves. I feel like the Z moves had really what pushed it over the top last generation, and hey, you never know what happens with your generation. So yeah, There's definitely a lot to discuss here. Let me know your thoughts on all these 5, and do you guys think I missed anything? Or do you guys think that I maybe should have included even less than 5? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear your opinions, your feedback, and anything else. Have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, and peace out.